Protection in the event of exposure to trauma is important for every human being. Statistics have shown us that women are more disposed to violence, or exposure to violence because of normative patriarchal practices. So the more women and children and other members of vulnerable communities that are exposed to violence. And so when these kind of things occur, it's important for the state to step up and provide support to the people who have been exposed to violence. That's very important.
Gender-based violence, a manifestation of power dynamics that has become a part of society. Wearing different guises, it could be physical, emotional, sexual, and economic, but its essence remains the same: the use of force to exert control and dominance over individuals based on their gender. Survivors and victims of gender-based violence are not mere statistics but living, breathing souls caught in this relentless turmoil. This is 19-year-old Ifeoluwa Akin. Trafficked from Lagos to Abuja, forced into unpaid labor at a beer parlor, and subjected to sexual assault, life has not been easy on Ife.
I was traveling down here from Lagos to Abuja, so I worked at Apot Resettlement Park. The name of my madam is Madam Chacha. People know her as Charity. I worked for her for like 3 months, but she didn't pay me my salary. So I was raped in her shop, and I explained everything to her. She did not bother. She be like, that's none of her business. That she just dressed up and moved back to her business. The guy that raped me left one of his cardigan, and I chased him through the cardigan. Since then, the guy had been threatening me because of that. So I went to Apollo Resettlement Park police station to report him. Although they followed me to his place, they arrested him, but fortunately, they released him without my permission. So I told the policeman, I don't have anywhere to go to. I don't have anywhere because I ran away from the place I'm working. She did not pay me my salary for a good 3 months. She did not feed any of her staffs. All of us and some of my clothes is with her. She did not give me. She sees it. So it was in Apollo Resettlement Park police station. Immediately I told me that I don't have anywhere to go to. So the man called someone. And the next thing, there was 2 ladies that came down to the police station. So they are the one that referred me to Dorothy. So then, I've not been to antenatal before until when I came to this place. But thank God for my life. October, I gave birth to a bouncy baby girl. So her name is Mole, the light. I feel happy, but sometimes I see her preaching God. I'm happy someone.
Sexual and gender-based violence takes lives. So every time we don't step up in defense of, survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, or to prevent sexual and gender-based violence, then it means that we're exposing people to possible death.
Anna Ibrahim is a young lady with a relentless spirit, but she carries the weight of a heavy cloak, concealing the scars that tell stories of agony.
I was being accused of taking manhood, which I know nothing about. I was just going on my own. It's like a self-food. So, coming back from getting my groundnut oil that I used to cook, that was when they stopped me and started accusing me of taking their manhood. And he was like, I'm the one that take his manhood, it's not working. When I passed, he felt like something has been taken from his body. He couldn't understand his body again. Before I could know it, he started beating me up from one hand to the other one. So we were using stick. They beat me up. I was being threatened to be burnt before they came to my rescue, the vigilante people. who came and rescued me before the policemen came around. Already, before they could come, it has already been disposed on the social media. Me being naked. It has affected me in the way that I lost my business. Though I was not staying with my family there, I was staying with my friend there. So it has affected my career in that area and probably in Nigeria as a whole. He was in the cell, when I was in the hospital. So I think they took him from the cell to court. I was still in the hospital then when they took him to court. So from court they referred him to prison, to Suleja prison. So now he's still in the prison because we still have to go for court hearing. All I want is justice to be done to Yusuf Shaibu, because this is something I can never forget. My life. This is something that my family can never forget.
What does supporting people who are exposed to violence look like? It looks like providing medical care, needed medical care. And there are different kinds of things that are needed by people, that fall within the range of medical care, including up to mental health care. It means navigating the investigation processes by interacting with law enforcement agents. It is still not free to report cases to many of the police stations in Nigeria. And the cost of access to justice is increasingly expensive by the second. So if we don't crash that cost, it means that we are deliberately cutting off people who have no access to resources or who can barely feed from even dreaming of accessing justice.
As we unravel the layers of gender-based violence, it becomes clear that it is not a private matter but a societal ailment that demands collective introspection and action. Dorothy Njemaze is the executive director of the Dorothy Njemaze Foundation, an organization that provides a lifeline for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence, offering free medical, psychological, legal, and economic support around the clock. Dorothy's journey from survivor to advocate embodies resilience and determination.
Every human being needs support, and as human beings, we should be our best support system. I'm a survivor of sexual and gender-based violence, and I know firsthand the importance of stepping up for survivors of sexual and gender-based violence and preventing sexual and gender-based violence. I'd like to tell every survivor of sexual and gender-based violence that there is help if you speak up. It's the advisable thing to speak up. But I also want to mention that we're overwhelmed by the amount of people who say, because you're a survivor-run organization, we trust that you would help us indeed. We can't do everything alone. We call on everybody to actually do something. Support people like us, support systems like us. Because without your support, it means that when people need to go to the hospital, if they cannot afford hospital bills, we pray for them. But the prayers are not sufficient. A lot of the people, in the last 2 months, majority of the people who have attempted suicide are minors. We are carrying out the frustrations of the economy on the minors. And where do they have to speak up to? But for those of us who are willingly on the field, we're also frustrated by the fact that there is a dearth of resources, there's scarcity of resources to support people. So please don't just send people our way. And don't keep quiet.
Communication plays a pivotal role in addressing gender-based violence, breaking the culture of silence that perpetuates victims' suffering. In 2018, the Center for Communication and Social Impact, CCSI, developed a national communication strategy on ending gender-based violence and harmful practices, funded by the United Nations Population Fund through the European Union Spotlight Initiative. The National Communication Strategy on Ending Gender-Based Violence and Harmful Practices serves as a strategic blueprint, providing a roadmap for stakeholders to navigate the complexities of communicating on issues as sensitive and pervasive as gender-based violence. Carrying key messages like girls are not commodities for money exchange, It emphasizes the value of educating and empowering the girl child as a crucial investment for society's growth. The importance of investing to prevent gender-based violence becomes ever clear now more than ever. These investments transcend monetary value. They become investments in humanity, such as support services, shelter, and counseling. The peak of prevention rises as legal frameworks are fine-tuned, ensuring that justice is not a distant note but a harmonious resolution.